back from that short break. It is still Econo Chat. Let's talk business with Mr. Daniel Steinman. We are talking debt versus GDP, and the question is,
what will sustain the growth?
Please do answer.
Obviously, a very large part is going to come from mining. The investments are there already. They're running. They're gathering momentum.
Yeah.
But they didn't start after COVID only. They've been in the running for 10 years, 20 years. You know, if you look at Rossing, I think the Chinese owners, the Chinese government took over the control shareholding about 4 or 5 years ago. And the first thing that they did was to extend life of mine. And there's only one way that you can extend life of mine, and that is if you actually find new uranium in the ground to mine. I mean, you can talk about life of mine until it flows out of your ears. If there's nothing to mine, there's nothing to mine. Yes. And there are many examples of that. Kolmanskop, near Lüderitz, you know. That is the nicest example anywhere in the world of a resource that was eventually outmined.
Yeah.
And then you had to shut down everything. And then everything moved to the south, to the Sperrgebiet, and later, in the last 20 years, into the ocean. Now, it means that the same thing can happen with uranium.
Yes.
So, for the existing mines to contribute to growth now, post-COVID, it is a fallacy to think that the investment started only after COVID, that everything came to a standstill. It didn't. It is many years. I'm in prospecting. You just picture this. The Namib Desert is vast.
Yeah.
Where do you decide, the geologist, where does he decide to go take his little pickaxe and knock on the rocks and see if there are any traces of uranium, or use a Geiger teller to find traces of radioactivity, which is usually the indicator of where the uranium is. Did you know that?
Yes.
Do you know what a Geiger teller is?
Yes.
That thing that goes beep, beep,
Yes,
beep, beep.
I do.
Yeah. This is how you explore for uranium. You simply look for radioactivity. So it means that the Rossing was extensively busy with in-pit exploration and adjacent exploration to be able to extend life of mine.
Yeah.
And the same with the others. They were all dependent on what is the actual price of uranium in the spot market, but not so much Rossing, because it belongs to the Chinese government, because the Chinese market takes up almost the whole production of Rossing. So it's a captive market, whereas the other uranium players, they operate in the private market. They are bound by the so-called spot price. I'm not going to go into that. It's too technical, or I don't think it fits our discussion. But the point is, we're asking the question, where will this growth come from? And it is a sustainability question.
Yeah.
Because it's very nice to have good growth in 1 year, but you want to have it for 10 years or 20 years or 50 years if you really want to develop Namibia, the country as a whole, from the revenue that is generated by mining.
Yeah.
First of all, it means that you need many more mines, and you need to mine not just uranium or just diamonds or just a little bit of gold. You need to mine a whole host of different minerals. You need to develop that sector into a multi-commodity sector. You can see for yourself what happened in uranium 8 years ago with Lange Heinrich. The moment the uranium price went below $35 per pound, and that's an imperial pound, the mine wasn't feasible. You know, it had to be shut down.
Yeah.
And when the uranium price came back up a couple of years later, above $35 per pound, and when it stayed there, again a signal of sustainability in the bigger or the broader uranium market worldwide, then Lange Heinrich was restarted, and they are still in the process of ramping up production to full production. So what's very important is that we need to understand that the most obvious source of growth is the mining industry, then tourism, but that is post-COVID growth, and then agriculture. Those are the three mainstay elements of where our growth will come from. And as those sectors grow, it means that the prosperity in Namibia will increase, and in very simple terms, and this is what we hope for, the money in your pocket and in my pocket will also increase. So that retail will become actually the only really truly indigenous Namibian contribution to growth. But the government knows this.
Yeah.
And this is why I spoke 2 weeks ago about the amendment bills that were tabled by the Minister of Finance, because they are all designed to make your life and my life a little easier. Post-COVID, that we can have 2 cents more in our pocket so that we can spend it. So that will be part of the sustainability of the economic revival.
Well, I can certainly say that the smile on your face while you said that gives me hope that it will definitely happen. Let's quickly go for a short break, and once we come back, we will get into the amendment bill.